Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage, Keith Nichols.
Welcome. Welcome to Synergy 2018. Very excited to be here in Riverside. Just wanted to, first of all, I just wanted to put this up so maybe somebody can take a picture and I can try to explain to my wife what I was doing with this old dinosaur in the background, but and what speech I was actually giving. But I mean, we threw the video together to kind of as a lighthearted look on the past. Even though I think some of us kind of think the past wasn't that long ago when these dinosaurs were roaming the plains, and perhaps maybe they still do in some of your offices. Who knows? But today is about the future, and the future is really what we want to talk about through our presentation today. I went too far in my presentation here, but the future is really about Aumentum. And today's presentation is really going to be a bunch of different speakers talking about the future of our product, the future of our business, and going forward. So I'm very excited to be here in Riverside. One of the things we like to do, as you know, is to kind of pay back to the communities through our products and really focus on the benefits of our products, but also the benefits that we actually bring to our constituents and things that our product brings, but also by paying back by coming to the communities that we actually serve. And so with that, I'd like to bring up the mayor of Riverside to welcome us to Riverside as well. So Rusty. Thanks, Rusty.
Welcome, welcome, welcome. What a great color you've chosen for your company. I don't know if you know this, but the citrus industry, and specifically the orange industry, started right here in Riverside. Who knew that? Raise your hand if you knew that. Sunkist Co-op. Anybody heard of that? Started in Riverside. Anybody take an orange next time, look on the bottom of it, and if it looks like a belly button, that's Riverside. The belly button orange. The parent navel orange tree still stands in Riverside, and we're proud. We're proud of our heritage, and we're proud that you've chosen Riverside and orange to be your color and to be your destination for today, at least. And I hope, ultimately, the bottom line up front is that you see something in Riverside, although I'm trying to figure out where that is in Riverside, that you want to come back to and share with your family and friends, because it is a destination city now. And I'm proud of that, because it's my hometown. And so it's a special thank you to Keith for making the decision to bring it here, as mentioned earlier, and to County Assessor Peter Aldana, who's here, for inviting me to this and to share with you a little bit about my hometown. Again, David Ledsinger, the County of Riverside, everyone at Thomson Reuters, go orange for choosing historic downtown Riverside for your conference. And again, as the mayor of my hometown, my family came here in 1914 when there were no buildings like that anywhere in the area, and they've seen it grow and progress, as was mentioned earlier. And so there's a lot of synergy amongst my family. One of the main reasons that I am the mayor is because of the legacy of service that my family passed down to me. Well, there is a first time Riverside, this is the first time Riverside has hosted your conference. I hope it won't be the last. As you explore our city over the next couple days, what is it, 4 or 5 days? You here a whole week? Nice, nice. Well, you're gonna have some time to explore the city. So you're gonna find a community with deep citrus roots and a small town feel. You'll find a charming world-class hotel called the Mission Inn. Anybody staying there? Hope you enjoyed it. Do you know that President Nixon was married there? President Ronald Reagan honeymooned there? And many other presidents have visited there. You're going to find an historic art museum just down Mission Inn Avenue from the Mission Inn, designed by renowned architect Julia Morgan. Break in the glass ceiling there, a female architect who also designed Hearst Castle. You're going to find the newest addition to our downtown nightlife, just across Market Street. Anybody heard of the Food Lab, the bustling Riverside Food Lab, which partially opened 2 weeks ago and is being fully embraced by Riverside's 325,000 residents. That's right, Riverside is a big city, but it does have that small town feel. 12th largest city in California, 59th largest city in the country. Same size Cincinnati, St. Louis, Pittsburgh. What don't we have? A professional sports team. Dang it. Maybe you can help me out with that. You're also going to find a walkable downtown and a safe downtown with small business merchants that are grateful to have your business and are excited to welcome over, looks like close to 500 of you in this room, maybe more. Well, we also have close to 1,000 units of downtown housing that are going up right now in our city. We have a renaissance in downtown Riverside, an urban lifestyle, truly. And I hope that you'll enjoy your stay and walk around to see things like the brand new Food Lab, the Fox Theater, several restaurants, Heroes, Prohibition, the Salted Pig, one of my favorites. Anybody like pork? Anybody like bacon? All right, everything goes good with bacon, right? And anybody into soul food? The closest restaurant to you is right across the street, an incredible array of collard greens and grits. So I encourage you to check out Graham's Barbecue. But while you're here, I hope you also come to know Riverside as a progressive city. Riverside's higher education partners prepare over 50,000 college students. We are a college town. And each year they graduate close to 8,000 students ready for a career. Our flagship, University of California, Riverside, UCR, is one of the most diverse college campuses in the nation and just rose in the ranks in U.S. News and World Report by the largest margin of any institution ever. I think it was more than 30 spots from the hundreds, 120 or something, up into the 80s, 87, 90, somewhere around there. Riverside is progressive. We are on the move. Our 4 institutions of higher learning give Riverside incredible intellectual capital to advance into the future. And with access to so much young millennial talent, we need a strong digital infrastructure to continue to be a city that attracts and keeps bright minds working and sharing ideas here. Because this is truly one of my major priorities, a father of 2 young daughters looking for a future career and hopefully in Riverside. I'd like for them to continue the tradition of serving our city. So instead of the brain drain and those college students going somewhere else, it's institutions, it's companies like yours, it's the work that you're doing that helps us in Riverside County and in the city of Riverside to keep a brain gain and not a brain drain. So we need to use technology wherever we can to serve our residents and make government more accessible and dynamic for our constituents. And I can see that just in this video and in some of the work that you're doing, the 4 pillars that you have. Let's see here. What are I just had that. Trust, security, reliability, efficiency. Sounds like good government too, but that's also your 4 pillars here she'll be talking more about today. So I'm all for it. I'm all for it. Through partnerships with Thomson Reuters, Riverside County is the first county of its size to have implemented a technology platform that ties the tax assessment, auditing, and recording functions through to an integrated platform, which makes me truly proud to be a Riverside County resident. And I know it's coming online. It's been a few years, but we're gonna seal the deal. We're gonna make it happen. All right. The boss says yes. He's shaking his head. It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen this month. The success and growth of municipalities depends upon public leaders and staff and partners understanding the role of technology in the lives of citizens and businesses. So we must provide our customers a digital infrastructure that can support and encourage networks and ideas that haven't been thought of yet, all with our eye on the pursuit of private growth and the public good. Private growth and the public good. Can you imagine those 2 things coming together? Where we can go from there. So as leaders in your own cities and counties, imagine how making information easy to access, to understand, that's a life-changing idea and implementation, execution, ability for our residents, for your residents. That's what we're looking for in this age of technology. So I commend each of you for your commitment to this important vision. I commend you for your service to your communities, and I commend you for taking precious time away from your families this week because you are passionate about your work. So welcome again to our beautiful city. I hope you'll enjoy your time here, spend some money here, and make the most out of this opportunity to explore our new community and to get to know each other and to continue your good work. So may God bless you, this organization, and each of you in your communities. Thank you for inviting me.
Thank you, Rusty. Nicely done. Thank you. Yeah, thanks. So, I'm again Riverside. Rusty kind of hit a couple of my points right on the head. And last year when we announced Riverside, I think some people thought maybe it was a little bit of a gamble. And I know I got a lot of questions about Riverside and the implementation last night at the Mission Inn event. But I will say we are very much still on track to go live on October 26th. So last week we completed the final functionality sprint. For those of you that are familiar with our agile process, our last sprint was last Wednesday closed. So all the functionality that we're going live with was completed. We're going through another round of testing. Looking good so far. And then we'll do our final data conversion. And then we will be going live on October 26th. I know many of you are eagerly waiting for that to happen for various reasons, but I'm most looking forward to that. So that's another key highlight of Riverside, and hopefully you'll get to talk to some of the Riverside County folks about what we've been going through for the past maybe too many years, I guess, is what they'll tell you and I'll tell you as well. But moving on, again, the future is Aumentum, and I really think about this conference as it's your opportunity. We view you as the experts, and we want you to get the most out of this conference. So please take advantage of your time together. We feel we know a lot about the product, and we feel we know a lot about your workflows. But really, you guys really are the experts in your communities of what you do in the property tax world. So take advantage of our time together. Really, take advantage of the schedule that we have. Take advantage of the workshops that we have, but take advantage of also the social activities that we have to network, to learn more about this world, this community here out in Riverside. This synergy, we're trying to do something a little bit different and have a few more speakers up here to talk about the product, the future, and really, what we're doing here with Aumentum and the future. And I'll talk a little bit more about the technology platform itself. I think Rusty kind of hit a couple of the points as well that I want to talk about. When we look at Aumentum, we look at the three tax offices, or the three offices that we really serve, tax, assessments, and records. And then we take a look at the way you're looking at your world, and really we want to put the constituents at the center of everything. That really these integrated offices really exist to serve the constituents of your community. And then where we come in from a technology platform perspective is we come in with our tax valuation records and product modules, also with some public access, mapping, and analytical apps to really kind of make sure this integrated system that you work in and that we just support it through tools and applications. And then if we move into those four pillars that we talked about, and we talked about it very specifically, and I'm glad Rusty kind of mentioned that it sounds like good government, because that's really the way we looked at it when we kind of looked at how we wanted to talk about the pillars of our business. So really trust, security, reliability, and efficiency, and we really looked at it from the standpoint of, again, the constituents that you serve versus our product serving you. We really wanted to say, how does government serve? How does an efficient government work? And so when we look at trust, it's the fair and equitable piece. When you go to your constituents and you say, hey, we're not just trying to bring in the most money for the county, we're actually trying to be fair and equitable, and we have to be able to explain that to you as constituents. And that's what really as a hallmark of our product and the pillar that we've built it on, is that trusted solution for your constituents and for you. Security, again, we are collectively, you and Thomson Reuters are the public stewards of a lot of data, a lot of sensitive data, a lot of valuable data, and it's really, it doesn't belong to us, it doesn't belong to you, it belongs to the constituents of your counties and communities. And so we view security as one of the most important things we'll do, and we'll talk about it more throughout the presentation. And then reliability, this, as we cross many offices and we talk about the integrated nature of Aumentum, it really has to be standardized and reliable information sets, and it really has to work across a bunch of different areas. And then lastly, efficiency. I mean, hopefully you wouldn't be looking for a software vendor that didn't provide the efficiencies, and that's what your constituents expect. They want you to be good stewards of the taxpayers' money, and they want this process to be as efficient as possible, and we want to be using optimized information tools to do that. And then lastly, this whole process has to be a scalable platform. We need to be able to repeat this over and over and over again, and as many of you have heard in my conversations about why Riverside and why we're putting all this effort into having a single platform, it's really the scalability piece that we can take everything we've been doing and then port that to other communities and really have a robust platform, and then also enhance that user community that I talked about earlier. And to that end, so I'm going to turn over the stage to Ann Kurz, who's our head of sales, and Scott Krisman, who's our VP of technology, and they're really going to talk a little bit more about this platform piece that I had just mentioned. So Ann and Scott.
Thank you, Keith. We are very excited to be here today.
Oh, we are very excited. In fact, did I hear the mayor say that this is the home of the belly button? Was that? No? Oh, the belly button orange.
The belly button on the orange, yes,
right.
yes.
Well, so no, we're not here to talk about belly buttons, but we are here to talk about two ideas, a system versus a platform. We're going to compare and contrast those two things using something that we may all be familiar with, and that's a mobile device. Now, y'all recognize this thing? Let's hear it for the BlackBerry.
No.
Okay, all right. How about the iPhone?
Yes, the iPhone.
Come on. How about the Android? Android?
Oh.
Okay, all right. Well, and you used to have a BlackBerry, didn't you?
I did, as a matter of fact. I had a BlackBerry, and I used it for my phone calls, my text messages, and emails, of course. And it was very secure. But when I think about the BlackBerry, it was very limited. And so today, the smartphone for me is a complete game changer, right? We all have our smartphone with us. Maybe we should poll the audience to see who brought theirs.
See.
Okay, everybody raise your hand, and it's hard for me to see you, so if you can hold your smartphone up, that'd be great too, if you brought your smartphone. Oh, look at all the lights in the audience, that's awesome. Okay.
Should we sing at this point?
Yeah, so we love no, keep them up, keep your hands up with your smartphone. So the other piece of this is, right, the smartphone allows us to be highly connected anytime, anywhere. Keep your arms up. Okay, now, for those of you that downloaded the Synergy app, keep your hands up and everybody else put theirs down. Wow, hey, I want to give everybody a round of applause. That's awesome. So for those of you that took the time to download the Synergy app, that's great. I'm going to give a little plug for, you can put your hands down now. So I'm going to give a little plug for those of you that did not download the Synergy app. If you do it on your smart device, whether it's an Android or an iPhone or an iPad, it's going to allow you to be highly connected throughout the conference. The other advantage is it's going to allow you to be able to do your surveys for your sessions right from that device. So it's going to save you a lot of time. So, we talked about the advantages of a smartphone over a BlackBerry, but what makes it a platform, Scott?
Well, we do know that smartphones were game changers, right? So one of the things that when Apple came out with the iPhone in 2007 and Samsung and some of these other companies followed suit with the Android devices was they took, well, actually it was a pretty solid idea with the BlackBerry where it was all integrated, but they decided to do something very revolutionary. They decided to create open technology, essentially going to the world of developers and companies and saying, hey, look, we'll innovate on a few very core things, that's important, but we want the innovators of the world to come and look at our core technologies and see how we can extend that, see how we can configure it. And it created what? It created a certain level of flexibility. Every one of us, probably in this room, has a smartphone. And think about it, it's configured to you, your lifestyle, what your interests are, how you work. And really, if you think about it, that is the power of a platform. Today, you can find, I think it's 2.1 million apps in the Apple App Store.
Crazy.
And about 3.8 million apps have been developed for the Android device. So that is Very powerful, isn't it?
Absolutely. Game changer.
Yeah. So, you know, look, we're not here to talk about phones, right? You didn't come here all this way so that we can stand up here and talk about phones all day long. But what we wanted to do was really coalesce on this idea that a system can be powerful, okay, but it's very static. It typically has a few capabilities that will deliver to the market, but platforms aren't static. Platforms are extendable, platforms are configurable, and platforms are powerful.
They are very powerful. You know, when we think about systems, oftentimes a county has a property tax system in place. It could be for a single office, sometimes it's for multiple offices. And absolutely, like the BlackBerry, a system can do the basics for a county. However, it's very limited. When we think in terms of a platform, that certainly is a game changer for us and for counties as well. So as technology advances, it's important to think in terms of how to leverage it, right? Because in a system, data can be isolated and information is often in silos. So it's not free-flowing and it's not shared across the county. So as technology is advancing, and we're going to talk about the Aumentum technology platform today, it's important for counties to be forward-thinking in how they can better serve their constituents. I want to give an example, and Scott, you and I both have kids that are roughly right millennials.
Yeah, we do, yep.
And you know, if you think in terms of millennials today, many of them are beginning to buy homes. And if you think about how they grew up, right? They grew up using technology. It's second nature to them. That drives a higher expectation for them when they interact with your county. And so to be able to leverage technology to interact with them in a way that they expect is going to be a game changer for a county. But in addition to better serving your constituents through the use of technology and a platform, it's also important for you to gain efficiencies within your office and to stay connected internally as well. So I think that really brings us, Scott, to the game-changing power of the Aumentum technology platform, and I think you can share a little bit about that.
Yeah, look, I'm really excited of the Aumentum technology platform. I mean, I'm in charge of tech, so I guess I better be.
You better be.
You know, I really am excited about what we've been able to accomplish over the last couple of years. There's a lot of aspects. We could talk about this all day. We're not going to, but there's 4 things that I want to hone in on. First of all, the platform is infrastructure agnostic, and that just means it can be deployed on your infrastructure, it can be deployed in a Thomson Reuters data center, or, and most importantly, and this is what I'm really excited about, we can deploy Aumentum on one of the public cloud platforms such as Amazon Web Services or Microsoft Azure. Now, shameless plug, we've got a panel tomorrow morning during the Tech Tracks that I'm going to be hosting. We're going to be talking more about public cloud and what it means for this market. Secondly, we have a scalable solution. And you hear this word all the time. To me, it means 2 things. The ability to scale up to the needs of the largest customer, and that means potentially hundreds of users simultaneously using the system, lots of batch processes, everything that a county could push into the system. And I've actually spent a lot of time this year with Riverside ensuring that when they go live on the 26th, we are scaled up to the max.
We're all glad you've spent a lot of time with them.
I have. I live here. And we also, I don't live here. We can also scale it down to meet the needs of the very small county as well and ensure that we can reduce the cost of the infrastructure as well. It's also secure. Keith pointed out it's the security pillar in Thomson Reuters. I look at it as the prime directive, and that's the Star Trek in me. It's the prime directive is security. This is exemplified by the fact that last year, Tim McKnight, and he's the Chief Information Security Officer of Thomson Reuters, he won the Top CISO of the Year award by SC Media Magazine, which was quite an honor. In addition to that, of course, in the development side, on the technology side, we make sure that every developer in Thomson Reuters goes through very rigorous security training, and Aumentum, every time Aumentum, we create a build and we deploy it, we send it through security scans, right? So there's a third-party software that we scan the software to see if there's any vulnerabilities. We take it very seriously. Finally, of course, the platform is extendable, similar to smartphones, right? Aumentum is an extendable platform. It's highly configurable. It can meet the needs of various states, jurisdictions, large and small customers. More importantly is we can partner with vendors abroad, your partners, our partners, and essentially extend or expand who we are to become a bigger group of deliverers in this market.
The power of the platform.
And
right?
create, a game changer, right? Because of the platform. So Ann, bring us home.
Well, you know, we have a few other bullets up here that I'm sure we could spend a lot more time on. You're going to hear some of it as the presenters come up and talk today, and certainly through the sessions. But we want to just close with a few things. So we compared the limitations of a system. We also talked a little bit about the benefits and advantages of a platform. But I wanted to make sure to touch on these 3 points. And you know, really, when we think of Aumentum, the technology platform, it's configurable. By its design, Aumentum is highly configurable for county-specific changes without hard coding. That's going to be a game changer for our counties coming on board. It's also integrated. While Aumentum is a best-in-breed solution for each individual office, the true power of this platform is when you look at integration. Integration with our partners, many of which are here today and throughout the conference, and you'll get to talk to, but also when counties choose to integrate that platform across offices. You're going to be gaining efficiencies for your office by doing that. In addition, you're going to have a single source of truth for your jurisdiction, and that's ultimately going to enable better serving of your constituents.
And finally, it's trustworthy. It's secure, it's scalable, and it taps into the experience and the enterprise of Thomson Reuters. Thank you all.
Okay, we're a wrap. We're going to welcome up the next presenters, Elizabeth Strout and Sarah Bigger.
I am Elizabeth Strout, and I am a Senior Technical Marketing Specialist.
Hi, I'm Sarah Bigger, and I'm a Product Manager.
All right. We are here to tell you a little bit more about some detailed specifics. We've been talking a lot this morning about generalities, platforms versus systems, but we wanted to get a little bit into some of the things we're doing for constituent focus, about our expertise, as well as some things that we're doing to enhance your digital experience. Technology problems. All right, so as far as constituent focus, we're trying to help you put your customers first. We recognize how important your constituents are, and we strive to help you save them time, as well as provide them with clarity to their data, while also wanting to help you be more effective with your jobs by using Aumentum Public Access. Public Access provides 24/7 access to tax bills and to your property details. One of the new features that we've provided within Public Access, although we do provide features across the board to all of your Aumentum platforms, is the ability to file appeals online. The online appeals feature enables the owner or agent to manage their appeals online, as well as provides you full configurability of setup, and it integrates seamlessly with the Aumentum application, providing you with workflow as well as creating the case for you. The online appeals area also gives you the ability to streamline your online appeals by customizing screens the constituents see. It provides you with mapped Aumentum data to eliminate the amount of data that the constituent has to enter when they get to the form. The forms are scrollable, and you can also configure required fields. This makes the constituent enter information that you require in order to easily process the forms so that you don't have to do as much research. On the public-facing side, the county can set up a questionnaire so that the eligibility can first be established for the person who is searching for their property. After this, the user can search and enter some information on a questionnaire. This then provides them with the next screen that they see. Configuration options at the end enable you to provide them with an emailed receipt where they can also download a copy of the form. at the end of the process. Next, we'd like to tell you a little bit about our expertise.
Thanks, Elizabeth. The Aumentum team brings together a unique combination of real-world experience managing the full property tax lifecycle, paired with a deep expertise in software design and development. This allows us to truly understand your needs and bring the most efficient and creative solutions to solve them. It is this combination of skills and subject matter expertise that sets us apart from the rest. Here are a couple of examples of applying the expertise to your real-world challenges. Thomson Reuters has been working with new toolkits to enhance users' experience throughout the Aumentum application. These toolkits have been implemented to give more flexibility and functionality to our customers that not only have large data sets, but the need to efficiently validate and review the data during the property tax cycle. The valuation data analysis and process feature is one of the areas that was enhanced with this new toolkit. The Valuation Data Analysis and Processing feature, or DAP grid, contains configurable data service-driven reports that pull data directly into an Aumentum grid, instead of a text exportable data dump. The DAP grid allows the user to review large data sets within an Excel-like field with Excel-like filters directly in the application. The user can create queries with flexible criteria group using data that's most important to their analysis and their everyday process. The DAP is a powerful, permissions-controlled, configurable tool, a tool that gives users control of their data. Users can create profiles associating data services and pin lists based on activities at the time of the life cycle. Users can kick off a variety of processes on the profile, sort work by user, property type, or area of office. The DAP profile tends to be year-specific, but the profile can be copied and used year over year, focusing on analysis of different types of properties. When viewing and processing profile data, the user can select a previously saved profile from the profile group from the DAP repository or easily create a new one. Dynamic responsive grids emphasize data visualization. Direct hyperlinks are available in data grids, creating shortcuts that bring users to specific areas of the application. The pin hyperlink in this profile brings the user directly into the individual appraisal site. Users can filter down to specific sets of data using column filters. Each column contains related filter options. Again, remember, we're doing all of this work directly within Aumentum. No more pulling the data out of Aumentum and doing individual updates and then importing it back into the system. Status tracking using customer-defined statuses allow the user to easily see the status of each pin included in the process. The data analysis and processing functionality is currently available in the Valuations module. This powerful functionality is on the roadmap to become available within each of the modules. One of our initiatives in the coming year is continued transparency. The DAP grid is just one of the pieces that is giving our users control and a better understanding of their data. So let's keep transparency in mind, and let's move to assessment administration. One of the most important things for Aumentum users to understand are the values that it provides. One of the areas that has been enhanced over this past year is the ability to view and override values. We've worked closely with the county as well as our UX team during multiple review sessions to validate the desired functionality and direction. The legacy override screen lacks the ability to show affected assessments. The legacy override process doesn't always keep up with the fast-paced tax cycle. The new overrides interface gives users an enhanced user's experience, focusing on performance and usability. The ability to override values is critical functionality within any application. This screen gives visibility across entire working sets. Inline editing and real-time results allow the user to make more educated adjustments to values, which produce the assessments and ultimately the tax bills that are sent to our owners. Each of these examples come about by working closely with our customers and applying the Thomson Reuters team's knowledge of software design, development expertise, and real-world experience in property tax. It is with that experience that we have been able to implement new tools that provide more transparency, more efficiency, and improved performance. Now, Elizabeth will be diving deeper into the latest Aumentum digital experience.
Okay. Our technology platform empowers customers by seamlessly integrating the functions of government across offices to support intricate workflows, data sharing, and information analytics, bringing a digital touch to the 21st century. We all spend a massive amount of time each day with technology. Improving the digital experience with your Thomson Reuters products is always on our mind. One point of our digital experience focus is helping you with visualization of data in as many points of your job as possible. Our high level of integration with Esri's GIS tools enable you, the user, to interact with valuation and assessment data within Thomson Reuters' suite of applications. Aumentum's ever-evolving GIS integration gives the user a best-of-breed digital experience. The latest in this effort is the creation of the Unified Map Viewer, or the UMV, that provides for spatial representation of data across a spectrum of solutions, including Aumentum and public access. The UMV is a custom-built mapping control for our products that utilizes Esri's JavaScript API. It is published through Aumentum to serve up geographical information like map layers. These layers are created, maintained, and edited using Esri's Arc desktop, and then served up by Esri's ArcGIS server by way of web services. The maps can be seen in multiple places throughout the Aumentum application, including Valuation, Info Center, and Personal Property. The main valuation screen gives the user the opportunity to interact with a map with a click of a mouse, displaying both current and neighboring property value, characteristics information, as well as the ability to navigate to adjoining properties. This also extends into our enhanced GIS capabilities. The user can search using a GIS map to produce search results. They can also manipulate the map by marking it up and producing presentation quality maps. Valuation displays target comparable sales on a map in order to easily identify location visually. Map layers can be toggled on and off to view parcel and geographical details. The user can easily target the subject property in regards to the comparables, as well as print and attach the map. We also have visual analysis tools that enable the user to create the data set they want in order to create visual reports of data. The importance of UMV demonstrates only one of the ways that we are improving the ability for the user to easily access and analyze data. Esri is just one of the examples of integrating Thomson Reuters systems across departments. Aumentum Platform supports connections across clerk, assessors, and tax collectors' offices in order to improve your digital experience within your work every day. And that is our constituent focus, expertise, and digital experience area. If you have any more questions about these specific things, you're welcome to come and find us. And next, I'd like to pass it off to Keith.
Thanks, guys. And hopefully you are able to get kind of the flavor of some of the exciting things coming out of the Aumentum suite and the platform and things that Thomson Reuters is thinking about. To me, it's very exciting to see some of that stuff up on the screen. I mean, a lot of, like in the override screen in particular, a lot of blood, sweat, and tears, and a lot of late nights and weekends and things of that nature kind of go into just even getting to the point where we have the right concept. So there's a lot of hard work going on in the background. So it's nice to be able to talk about it finally and to be able to talk about the future and the direction that we're going. The main point of the last couple of speakers is, we really are a future-looking organization. We're really not trying to be, we don't want to be static. The future is progress, and that's where we want to go. Hopefully, you got that vibe from the last couple of speakers. And then really, we want to be able to give some more examples of what that is. And so the next round of speakers is really going to talk about, excuse me, is really going to talk about what distinguishes Aumentum and Thomson Reuters. We're going to go through 3 quick stories about how we're doing things differently with our customers, and really talk about the strength of the larger Thomson Reuters story. And so now I'm just going to quickly turn it back over to our next group of speakers, who are going to talk about different stories about Thomson Reuters. So please welcome to the stage Sharon, Georgette, and Jeff. first.
Well, hi, I'm Sharon Sells-Belton, and I'm the first speaker for this morning. And I just have to tell you how delighted I am to be invited to the Synergy conference, I think for maybe the third time in a row, so thank you so much. I'm going to be talking about social impact. So at Thomson Reuters, we really are committed to helping our customers win in the marketplace, and I think you've heard that this morning. But as a corporation, we also recognize that we have the opportunity to make a social impact and a difference around the globe. So for more than 10 years, Thomson Reuters has partnered with an organization called Lawyers Without Borders to further the rule of law and to build the capacity of the justice system in sub-Saharan Africa. After all, Thomson Reuters is a global enterprise that supports the essential operating systems for governments, for professionals, and for society that can really foster a transparent, fair, and more equitable world. So by leveraging the Thomson Reuters technology and expertise, Lawyers Without Borders really has had the opportunity to reach more justice professionals and give them some much needed training. And they, just like all of us as government professionals everywhere, we are always looking for opportunities to improve our operational efficiencies so that we can make a difference in our communities and address unmet needs. Well, in the early years of our relationship with Lawyers Without Borders, we actually focused our efforts on producing printed materials that could really help them with their training for law enforcement and for prosecutors and for members of the judiciary on topics like human trafficking and related items. But I will tell you that 4 years ago, when Lawyers Without Borders was confronted with the Ebola crisis that ravaged West Africa, the organization really had to develop a new model for training justice professionals. With the help of Thomson Reuters, Lawyers Without Borders shifted their whole operation to an e-learning model complete with a Thomson Reuters platform. We were delighted when we learned that out of all the organizations that were working in Liberia during this crisis, there was only one NGO, one nonprofit group that was actually able to meet their goals and objectives, and that happened to be Lawyers Without Borders. Because they had transformed their learning model to this new e-learning technology, they were not only able to meet their goals, but they exceeded their goals to reach people who needed this much needed training. Now with this new track record, Lawyers Without Borders e-learning model expanded the reach of all of their training models. In fact, they are doing work in human trafficking, they're doing work in wildlife management, and most recently they were able to introduce a new training model on counterterrorism. And I think the picture that you see behind me is a group of our Thomson Reuters professionals working with prosecutors in Kenya with this new training program. We're absolutely proud of this work. Now, Thomson Reuters is actually continues to be committed to share our knowledge and our expertise to help Lawyers Without Borders with their work. And we actually believe that the extension of programs like this e-learning is a direct result of our relationship with our robust legal professional user community that we happen to serve. Now, when I look around this room and when I think about all the people that I met last night, you as a Thomson Reuters user community also are having a similar impact in that you are actively working with technology to improve your communities and the work that you do every day. Now this week you're going to have the opportunity to provide us with input into our management platform by meeting and giving direct input to our management team, our product management teams that you're going to be talking to this week. And what I want to just say is I want to say thank you. I want to say thank you for providing us with your knowledge and expertise, because at the end of the day, it's going to improve the technology platform, and we're going to be able to use it to make a difference with organizations like Lawyers Without Borders. Just like with this organization, in which we have already extended technology to support this NGO, your input by providing your technology into our broader system will also have a social impact. We've actually had the opportunity to take the lessons that we have learned from talking with organizations like you to conferences like the World Bank Conference on Land and Poverty to help other companies and organizations around the world. And I've had the opportunity personally to meet international customers who are using the technology to register land rights in the countries and the communities that they serve. And I will tell you that in some cases, this has been the very first time that they have had the capacity to register individual land rights. Now, working together, I know we can make a difference. We're already having an impact. And again, I want to thank you for that. My message this morning is really simple and pretty straightforward. And that's to say that we at Thomson Reuters are committed to making a difference in your community and in other communities around the world. And with your support as a Thomson Reuters customer, we'll be able to continue to do good. It's my privilege to be able to say thank you again, and I hope you have a great conference, and I hope you'll continue to share your ideas with us. Can I turn it over to my friend, Jet? Jet. Please welcome her.
Thank you. Good morning, and thank you, Sharon. Yes. Yeah, I love hearing those really inspirational stories. But today, I'm here to talk to you a little bit about what it's like to work in partnership with Thomson Reuters. For us, it's always been about the challenge of meeting our community needs. Because at the Palm Beach County Tax Collector's Office, it is our vision to be exceptional. We want to be able to meet the needs of everybody in our community and to provide the best service. And it's difficult when I saw this morning the opening film about what it looked like back before we had all this technology. I think we were the model of some of where we were and what we've become in working in that partnership. So I'm going to talk to you a little bit about some of the things that make our community great. And one of those is that we are responsible for collecting tourist development taxes, which helps Palm Beach County renourish its beaches, provide cultural and social venues for people who come to visit us as a destination, just like Riverside. So in our opportunities that we found, that we collect $50 million in revenue every year. But what I can tell you is that revenue is collected completely manually. You know that picture of all the boxes of papers? We have some 3,000 people who collect tourist development tax in Palm Beach County. But how they do it is we send them paper documents for 6 months' supply. They send those in to us, and then we re-enter all of that information. We hope that we get everyone who should be paying, and we realized that if we didn't try to maximize technology to find a better way to do this, that we would be forever being inefficient and not even sure that we were collecting or where people were renting and miss all of that revenue. So what we did is we all worked together to try to find a solution that would leverage everything that we use in Aumentum and everything that we use in public access and eliminate all of the manual processes. So what we decided is we would try to take all of it online, that we would do away with everything manual, and we worked to do that within 1 calendar year. So together, we worked to, together we worked to partner with them, and we met every month by using their sprint process. It was very dynamic because as we were learning the information, they were meeting the needs from all over the world to help us create something that was simple to use, that we had to introduce to the entire community to move them from paper to completely electronic 24/7, that they could file their taxes. We would send them notices so that they wouldn't be late to help avoid those penalties. We would actually walk them through what it took to make that work. And there were many times that we would learn new information and reach out and say, we just found out we can't do it this way. Can you do it a different way? And within 2 weeks' time, they would bring that back and home to us, and we would make this successful. They were very, very agile in making this go live. And we did it, said we were going to make it go live on August 1st of this year, and we did. We had the help of several people in this room. Public access was great, and we actually got to see what it would look like to be able to configure it ourselves, to be able to change it around, and to make it work. We used Bill to Pay as our third-party payer, who also helped us, and they too joined in that partnership and brought back home what it was like to change everything on the fly as we went through. And as a result, we now have 3,000 plus properties that we registered in our first month. In our first month, and August is usually very slow for us because we're very seasonal. We collected $3 million in revenue, and we have now eliminated data entry of 90,000 tax returns per year. We've eliminated all the postage and all the printing of returns, and we've improved our turnaround time for our distribution. Because our distribution, we'd have to enter every bit of that manually, and now it's downloaded in batch every single day, and we're able to distribute that money to the Tourist Development Council before the 10th of the next month. We're very proud of what we've done, and again, I'd like to thank Paula Leal, I know you're out here, right? Jen Channel, and I'm not sure if she is here, Michael Levor of Thomson Reuters, Aldana, I know I saw you on the airplane yesterday, so I know you're here, along with Julia Escobar, who helped to make this possible, and Iris Kraft from Bill to Pay. I also would like to thank our entire tax collector team, because we now know what it's like to trust a very secure and innovative product that we have accomplished in a very, very short period of time. Thank you, and I'd like to turn that over to Jeff.
Great. All right, thanks, Georgette. I really appreciate you sharing your experiences with everyone. I'm going to talk about innovation, and I will say I'm really proud to work at Thomson Reuters. It's actually my second stint with the company because I think we do bring some things that are unique to this market and to this business. Georgette's introduction was a great introduction to innovation because in the end, it all starts with you in this room. It starts with our customer. The impetus for the way we innovate and what we bring to the market are your experiences, your challenges, your feedback, and your ideas. If you walk into any of our Thomson Reuters offices, you'll see an orange chair in each and every conference room. That symbol is there to remind us that your voice is the first one we need to hear and the first thing we need to take into account for everything we do. We also actively seek input through many channels. Synergy is certainly one of them. We participate in events like NACFO and IAAO, as well as regional and product users groups. Innovation is an iterative process. You heard Georgette talk about the agile process that we followed with the tourist development tax. A common theme to every phase in that iterative process is testing results with you. Discovery, the first phase, is where we make sure we understand the problem that we're trying to solve. Ideation is where we start to whiteboard ideas and sketch out solutions. It might be just a napkin sketch at this point to help us capture the essence of an idea. In the design phase, we can take those ideas, refine them, work with our UI and UX teams, and build higher fidelity artifacts. And last, we validate what we learned and make sure we're truly addressing those goals we set out. The key to all of this is that we then repeat the process and go back and make sure that what we learned from that first cycle are things we can apply the next time through. One other thing that's unique to Thomson Reuters is what we call the capability model. I promised I would not try to read this whole slide. But the key thing to take away from this is understanding that as Thomson Reuters, we're able to leverage capabilities from other partners within our company, as well as outside partners. Besides what we can accomplish in our government tax teams, we also leverage components from other tax and legal teams. For instance, we recently developed a notification engine, and we're sharing that across multiple Thomson Reuters products. This model also extends to external partners, where we can identify best-in-breed technology, bring that technology into our platform to make sure you have the very best capabilities available. Some examples where we partner, just like we partner with customers like Palm Beach, we want to partner with those technology providers we bring into play. Some of those you can meet here at the conference are Esri, our TR legal team and their Clear product, as well as Gamma Cloud in the mobile valuation space. We talked earlier about the focus on constituent services. That's certainly one of the areas where we're most active in innovation right now. And the goals we hear from our customers are around how to improve your customers or your constituents' experience. Our roadmap initiatives in this area improve on transparency, accuracy, speed, and ease of working with all of your offices. I'm excited to share just a few examples of some of the roadmap initiatives underway right now. One, the universal search. It's functionality designed to both improve the usability and the performance of our search functions. We've already seen gains of 95% around performance in this area. InfoCenter 360, it's geared to simplify answering questions for your constituents, whether they come into the office in person, by phone, and ultimately online. We're also working on a new mobile tax collection tool to allow for more flexibility and reduce lines in your offices at peak times by letting folks that are ready to pay just step aside and work with you on a tablet. Those are some of the things we're working on actively and tangibly you can touch in the Innovation Lab right now. Thomson Reuters is also committed to remaining a pioneer and a thought leader in some of the latest technology trends. Blockchain is just one of those areas where we lead. You can see trends in the blockchain becoming mainstream technology in many industries. TR has already executed on pilots and prototypes in land registry, for instance. At Synergy this year, we'll be exploring some additional areas where we can apply this exciting technology. Bring your ideas to blockchain discussions throughout the week or just drop in on the Innovation Labs. Big data is another area where we see rapid innovation and immediate applicability. Thomson Reuters Labs is a space in our business where we can give another channel to accelerate innovation. TR Labs brings experts in data analytics and machine learning to all of our businesses. In the recent past, data analysis focused on the descriptive. Think of sales comparables. They demonstrate what happened in a market. Or they talked about the dynamic, say Gamma models that help us identify what drove trends and then apply those trends in valuing subject properties. Well, I'm excited to say this spring, TR Labs, working with Tarrant County and our government team, started to work in the predictive space. We looked at historical data from the county alongside demographic investment and construction trends to try and predict appeal volumes and predict changes in value. So where do we go next? Machine learning and artificial intelligence is the next horizon for us and working with our customers. A few examples where you could think about how we might apply this in the appraisal space. AI may play a role in collecting and validating data like property attributes. Or imagine using AI to review and tune your valuation model assumptions and tune them automatically. Or imagine applying machine learning to identifying impaired properties or obsolescence and making value adjustments automatically. We're really eager to hear your ideas, not just in the valuation area, to drive those innovation partnerships and find our next experiment to do with the labs and some of our customers. So I've shared a number of channels with you where we can drive innovation. Ultimately, it all starts here at Synergy. After a great experience rekindling the labs last year, we heard from you. This year, your opportunities to work side by side with us in the innovation labs have more than doubled. This year, there's an entire dedicated track to the innovation labs, 20 unique sessions, and space dedicated to usability testing and one-on-one interviews. Please stop by and join us all week. We'd love to see you there. Now, I'm going to welcome back our Managing Director, Keith Nichols, to close out the opening session.
Thanks, guys. Good job. Thank you very much. Thank you. So hopefully you get a flavor of why I'm proud here to work at Thomson Reuters. The social impact we're able to have, the ability to work rapidly with clients to do some amazing things there in Palm Beach County. And then lastly, the innovation piece. I mean, we are, again, the future is not static, the future is progress. It's an exciting time to be a part of Thomson Reuters. And I guess to the spirit of the future not being static and the future is progress, I have a personal announcement to make, and along with Thomson Reuters. Thomson Reuters a couple of weeks ago, this is very new, has graciously offered me a new position. So I will be remaining with the government business through the end of the year, and then also moving on to my new position. It was a very hard decision for me, to be honest. I've spent a lot of time in this business, and I've spent a lot of blood, sweat, and tears in this business. And so when they originally approached me, I originally said no. I said that this is bad timing. This isn't going to work. We're going to fail our clients in a bunch of different ways. Not that I was that important, but I was pretty kind of shocked that they were going to give me this opportunity. Plus, at the same time, the timing was pretty bad. And so I guess it was one of those few times in my career I've kind of made a few demands to the corporation. And one of those demands was that the future of the business was in good hands, and I'll talk about that here in a minute. And then also that we didn't break our word on any partnerships that we had in place. And I think a theme that we've been talking about all day is our partnership with clients. And I know I've had many conversations with many of you about our commitment to this market, this commitment to this product. Wait with me while we sort out California issues, and then we'll be able to do other things. So I'm personally a little, for lack of a better term, broken up about it. I really wanted to be able to stay with the government business a little longer. It is a good career opportunity for me, so I'm not going to lie about that. But like I said, my demands were, the business was in good hands, and that we didn't go back on any of our partnership words. Also, I will be staying through the go live to make sure that goes successful here in Riverside. I'll be staying through the end of the year. And if there's any, I guess the good news or bad news, depending on how you look at it, I'll still remain in the same leadership team. So I'm not really completely abandoning and leaving. So I'll still be plugged into this business and the future of what it is, and be very keen on the future of this business. And I know I was going to get a little too wordy here. But so I will announce that my successor was also my predecessor. So Joe Jackson, who many of you know, will be taking over from me at the beginning of the year. And so I'd like to invite him, and also, in the partnership arena, I'd like to invite Peter Aldana up as the elected assessor here in Riverside County to kind of talk about the future, our transition, and the partnership that we've had through the years here. Joe?
Thank you, Keith. Well, first of all, let me be the first to publicly congratulate you on your new role. It truly is. It's a big opportunity, and Thomson Reuters is lucky to have you in leadership, and I know your new team is going to really benefit from what you're going to bring. The other thing, I just want to say thank you to you, your leadership team, the entire government Aumentum team, all the orange shirts represented out here, but many more in other places around the globe, actually. All of you have done a tremendous job to get to this point. I feel a little guilty getting to step back in here at this time, but I really am honored to be able to come in here and to be able to work side by side with the larger team to take this group on and really experience some great things. I've just now started getting reacclimated with the team, the platform, statuses, and I'm really impressed. And it's all because of the great work that's been going on the last couple of years. But beyond the platform, I'm also excited to get reconnected with the customers, the marketplace. This is a great times. It's really exciting times. But I also know that we wouldn't be here on the steps of this biggest Go Live event that Aumentum has ever seen without a partnership. And Riverside County I think, epitomizes what partnership can do with a technology provider like Thomson Reuters. I'm extremely excited to come in. Peter, getting to work with you and Paul and John, the other electeds, and all the team to be a part of this. And I can say, I think Keith would agree with me, we would not be here if not for the great partnership of you and your team. And it's exciting for me to come in and be a part of this.
Thanks, Joe.
Well, it is pretty exciting to have you back, Joe. I'll tell you that. So, let me tell you, this has been such an extraordinarily difficult project. Without the real partnership that we have developed with Thomson Reuters, we could not be as close to completion as we are right now. This really has been a tremendous effort on both parts, and I think both organizations know that we're in this thing together, right? So I'm very happy to hear that. I'm sad to see Keith leave, but as part of Thomson Reuters' commitment to making sure that Riverside County is successful, they brought back somebody as capable as Joe, who understands the history of the project since he's been here before, and he understands the direction that we want to go in Riverside County with Aumentum.
Well said.
All right? So we look forward to all the good work we're going to have ahead of us, right? And while I'm up here thanking folks, I do want to thank my Riverside Crest team, from the assessor, the auditor, and the tax collector. You guys are doing fantastic work, and thank you, Thomson Reuters, all you folks, the boots on the ground folks, for coming to Riverside and helping to make this thing happen. So good luck to you.
All right, thanks,
and
Peter
welcome
and
back, Joe.
So that was a little bit unscripted, but for those of you who don't realize that we're sort of reading some little notes here, my staff put on there to screw with me to maybe a tear is present, and I almost did cry, so thanks for that, making that happen. But I made it through. All right, I know we're a little bit behind schedule here, so we'll get going with, Matt's gonna come up and talk to us about the exciting program and the events and the speakers we have, and then we'll get on with the rest of the Synergy Conference, but thank you guys very much.
All right, aren't you glad y'all here? Yes? As a guy that's been focused on green my entire life, the change to orange is good, trust me. But anyway, so we just want to wrap it up this morning and get you all onto the great events that we have planned for this week. To that point, last night we took a great photo of the crew in orange for you, and this orange is for you, truly. But please do reach out to us, talk to us this week. We absolutely want to engage with you. So a couple of things to highlight as part of Synergy 2018. Jeff talked a little bit about the Innovation Lab. We also have our Public Sector Champion Awards on Banquet, which will be Wednesday evening. We have 8 concurrent tracks throughout the week, including focus on Aumentum modules of Recorder, Valuation, Tax, as well as our technical track, as well as Custom CAMA and ProVal. So a couple of highlights in terms of our plenary sessions. On Tuesday morning, we'll have Jack Dangerman, the president founder of Esri. Wednesday, we have Mike Rodriguez, who will be talking to us about leadership and motivation. And last but certainly not least, Kathy Enstrom is the Executive Director of the IRS Criminal Investigations Unit, and she'll be talking to us about some of the techniques that they use regarding fraud. So I'd also just like to thank our sponsors, in particular, Platinum sponsor, Simpler Systems, as well as our Gold sponsor, IBM. And just a quick shout out to our staff, and please, if you have an opportunity, in particular our event staff, so Andrea Rutherford, Annette Selnow, Dee Parker, and Kayla Mitchell. So with that, I think we're ready to go to open up to our next session. So thank you very much.